Welcome. This is ClickTSide.com.
I'm Josh Ryan. This is the show that is unnamed now because I took a name that wasn't allowed. I'm joined with Tom, who is a good friend of mine in university and also a co-YouTuber. Hello. In this show, we're going to be talking about YouTube. We're going to be talking about the ins and outs and the recent news with PewDiePie. I don't know if you've seen any of that, but we're going to be going in depth about that. And then we're also going to be talking about horror games, so stay tuned.
ClickTSide.com.
With the shape of you.
That was Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. He's bringing out some good songs lately. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about horror. So our main subject this afternoon is YouTube, but we're going to be talking about horror games for a while because I know Tom's a huge fan of horror games.
Yeah, that's correct.
I know one of his favourite series is Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you want to talk about that? Elaborate on why?
Well, Resident Evil was always like a big thing in my childhood as well. I mean, I wasn't supposed to be playing them, but you know, like when you have parents, PS1.
Yeah. It's just like when you were playing Grand Theft Auto. Isn't
Yeah,
it
it kind of just falls into play. Got begging them to buy you a game in Asda, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll get you the GTA London collection. Like, cheers, mum. But
GTA London collection.
Yeah, well, it wasn't GTA London, but it had GTA London on it. It was like all the classic Grand Theft Auto games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I came across Resident Evil 2 originally, and I was too scared to play it, and it gave me nightmares as a kid. And then Resident Evil 3 came out, and I was allowed to play that. It wasn't as bad because there's an easy mode for it, so you can, like, you know, kill things for fun and everything, because you can just run through. Because you start off with an assault rifle, so it's like mega easy. And then I got into Resident Evil properly when Resident Evil 4 came out.
Yeah,
because
everyone's favourite is Resident Evil 4.
Because Resident Evil 4 I couldn't get because my PS2 didn't work at the time, and it wasn't out on Xbox, so, and GameCube, just, nah.
No.
I couldn't be bothered getting a GameCube just to get it, so I just sat it out as long as I could, and then it came out on PC, but at the time it was really, really bad on PC, like, it was just poorly optimised and stuff, the screen resolution didn't match or anything, but the game itself was amazing, and that's what really got me into Resident Evil, because I just connected.
I was really disappointed with myself for missing Resident Evil 4 and all the other Resident Evils, because I've told you before I've only played 5 and the new one 7.
Yeah, like, 5's not great.
5's not great, no, but and I know 5's been... everyone says 5's not the best one and 4 is the best one apparently, so... I don't know, it's my favourite game's Alien Isolation, but you've never played that, have you? So.
Well, I've played a bit of it. I played... is it Survivor Mode on
Survivor Mode, yeah, that's my favourite bit. I haven't really played any of the stories, so...
Yeah, well, Survivor Mode, you get like 3 characters. You get Ripley, I think you get... Is it Dylan, I think he's called? I don't know.
I can't remember, I'm thinking I haven't played it in a while.
I'm thinking of Predator, I think. Like, Dylan!
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Alien vs Predator, did you ever play that?
Yeah,
it wasn't really a horror game, but it was a...
Well, it was horrible.
Yeah,
well, like,
yeah, it was a horrible game.
Yeah,
but
horrible
it wasn't a
game.
horror game. Alright, what's your least favourite horror game?
Oh, my least favourite horror game.
See, mine would be Cry of Fear, because I never really played Cry of... I can't really say it's my least favourite then, kind of. I did play it, I just didn't enjoy it as much as everyone seemed to love it. Like, everyone, like, there was so much hype around Cry of Fear, but I never really got into it. I couldn't... It wasn't my kind of horror game, I don't know. Maybe it was just too scary for me. I'm not a horror kind of person, but...
Nah, I think it's pretty scary. It's scary the fact that the graphics are really bad, but like, it is scary as well. Like, you know Ethan, don't you? Like, yeah, Vampiric Misfit, shout out. But yeah, he did a video with me on his channel when we were playing Cry of Fear, and he absolutely like wet the bed while playing the game. Really? He was just screaming the whole time. Like, there's me like under control and stuff, like shooting everything. He's like, "What button do you press to shoot?" And I was like, "It's mouse 1, obviously, click." Yeah, you know,
click.
He's screaming at that, and then like people with like striped sweaters and stuff and knives and everything running at us and stuff. He's screaming, and there's me just popping them off like it's nothing. I thought it was really fun, but I've not done the actual single player. I've just done the co-op.
Yeah.
So that's my experience with the game, and I thought it was decent.
Did you ever play any games like Penumbra? I don't know if you've.
Yeah, I played Penumbra. Yeah, like the Arctic game where you got torch and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, but I've never finished them. I've played some of them.
I watched a friend play it. I never played it myself either.
Yeah, it seems good, but it's not my thing at all.
It's like, it kind of reminds me of Amnesia. Did you play Amnesia?
Yeah,
Amnesia.
I
think everyone's played Amnesia.
Yeah.
It's just one of them games, really.
My least favourite game would probably be horror. I don't know. I'm trying to think of one that had like a really bad ending.
Yeah. It's a hard topic because many horror games are developed quite good,
I know.
but there's a lot of cheap jump scares. Oh, what was the game? I forgot it. It was an indie game that came out. Emily Wants to Play. I don't know
Yeah,
if
Emily
you've
Wants
ever
to
seen
Play
that.
is pretty bad.
That was awful.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad. But it got so much hype around it. I didn't really understand that. Do you want to think about it, and we'll come back to it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll think
I'll
about it,
think
because we're going to
about
be
it.
here all day otherwise.
All right, so we're going to be playing some Coldplay and some Cortinas later on, so stay tuned. So, Tom, have you thought of a least favourite game yet?
Yep.
You have? Ooh. Right, go on then.
My least favourite horror game is Zombie.
Zombie. Is that the Zombie U one? The one that
Yeah.
originally came out on the Wii U?
Well, not the Wii U version, but the Xbox One version,
Yeah.
PC version, PS4 version, etc. When I saw the trailer for it, the London Bridge,
Yeah.
that looked so good. Like,
Yeah.
it looked insane. And, like, people had always said, oh, the Wii U game is so good and everything. I was like, oh. But then when they released it on Xbox One, I was like,
Yeah, I didn't watch much gameplay of it. I watched Jacksepticeye, I'm presuming.
Yeah.
I watched a bit of gameplay from him when it came out on the PC, and it didn't look that good. He was like, "Oh, it's so good." I was like, it's not though, is it?
no.
It's not that great. So do you think that's the least well developed as well then?
Well, yeah, because I think when they made it, they deliberately made it to, like, optimize it for, like, the Wii U and everything.
Of course, yeah.
But when I played it, it felt more like a rushed game.
Yeah.
Because, like, the system didn't really work that well. Like, the whole backpack system, that was, like, that's really
Yeah.
well thought out and everything. But when you use it, it's like, it's all right.
It's a good idea, but not very done very well.
Yeah.
Basically.
More or less.
I think there's too many zombie games, to be honest. Like, there's see how many survival games there are on Steam
Yeah.
now, and they're mostly all zombie games.
Yeah, but that's because they're good. Like, in a sense that they're
They
good.
make money, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, if you play DayZ, right,
Yeah.
that's like the generic number one tier game where it's like, yeah, zombie survival, but it's broken. That's
Yeah.
the problem with it. It's really broken. But games like, if you've heard of Miscreated, my
Yeah, I
friend,
have,
my
yeah.
friend Jamie,
The font, is that the one with the font that's exactly like DayZ?
yeah, he met me on YouTube and stuff, and then he asked me to come on. He gave me a code for it as well because he knows the developers. So I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And then I got into that, and, like, the moment I started playing it, I was like, this is way better than DayZ. Even though it's, like, really basic in comparison to it, it's so much better than DayZ.
All right, well, yeah, it literally is just an idea that has to be executed well, really, with games. The least well-developed horror game. Now, this isn't my opinion. This is something I got off a website. Oh, God, it's happened to my voice. This is something I got off a website because I've never played a lot. I played the first Alone in the Dark. Never played Illumination because it never really interested me.
Yeah.
The first Alone in the Dark wasn't that good. But a few websites actually say Alone in the Dark Illumination is one of the worst developed horror games yet, just because of the mechanics and how it works and just how scary it is and stuff. I don't know. What do you think about
I can top that with another one.
Can you?
Yeah, even worse than Zombie. Resident Evil Umbrella Corps.
that? Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that game, right? And a lot of people are like, oh, it looks crap, but it's multiplayer and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm not bothered about the multiplayer aspect of it. I think that's actually really good, and the gameplay is actually really good and fluent.
Yeah.
But it's how they presented it, if you know what I mean. Like, they released it as just a multiplayer game only, but
Yeah.
it had potential as its own game, like a squad-based game maybe, or like a story mode if they'd done that.
So do you think they've just cashed in on the name of Resident
Yes,
Evil
definitely.
to get money?
Yeah.
That's what a lot of developers do nowadays. Like, I don't know if you've seen Roller Coaster Tycoon, the new one. What's it called?
nah, but I
Roller
know.
Coaster Tycoon World. It's different developers to the originals, and they've basically, it's a completely different game. They've just cashed in on the name just to get money, and then you got games like Planet Coaster, which is just completely better. Which is just, it's weird.
Oh, Thrillville as well, not to mention.
Thrillville,
Back in the
Thrillville,
day,
Jesus.
yeah, off the rails.
I used to play that so much.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I got it on PC not that long ago, and I was like, why did I love this?
Yeah.
It's not even that good.
I used to just make the roller coasters go off the tracks on purpose and hit the other theme parks
of course,
across from me.
yeah.
Just like rockets every time I was doing it. It was so funny.
So the best-selling horror game of all time is apparently Silent Hill 2. I don't know how many copies it sold, but I never really played it. But I've heard so much good stuff about it. Like, did you play it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently it's very scary.
No, not to me. I mean,
Yeah, but you don't get scared.
no.
That's
Like,
what you told me. You don't get scared.
do you want me to tell you the story of how I don't get scared of things?
Yeah, go on.
Right. So when I was about, I think 14, Fear 2 had come out,
Yeah.
right? And I love the Fear games, like absolutely love them a bit, but I was terrified of them at the same time. So my mum had told me I wasn't allowed to play it until my birthday. My dad had bought me it, but it was an American copy, so I couldn't play that. So I was like, right, okay. So I went on the Xbox store, bought it for £4 because it was on sale, so I was like, it's decent. And when I got it, right, the moment I started playing it, I did not come off of it from about 12 o'clock at night till about 7 in the morning. So no breaks. I held in, and you got to the toilet, I held it in the whole time. And I think it flipped a switch in my brain that enabled me to be scared of things, and it turned it off. So I played the whole game.
A weird way of looking at it.
I know, I played the whole game, got halfway through the game, realised I wasn't scared of anything, and just got through the game and finished it. And I have to say, it's my favourite horror game of all time. Like,
Really?
horror, yeah, because it is genuinely scary. But Silent Hill 2, back in the day, it was scary because it was nothing that anyone had ever seen before. So it was scary. But I think Silent Hill 3 was scarier, but it was lazier at the same time. Like, the story was lazy, but the horror elements were way better in 3.
Yeah.
But
all right, well, again, I never really played. I haven't played many horror games, it seems. I'm doing a topic about horror games. I've never really played many.
yeah.
Although you watched my YouTube video on Outlast 2, I see.
Yeah, and you bricked it.
Yeah, that just shows I get scared so much. Like, I've done Alien Isolation videos as well. I got so scared. It's all. And then Resi 7. Resi 7 just came out. We've been talking about this a lot with each other.
Yes, we have.
I still haven't got through it. I've been holding off playing it for some reason. I just haven't had the time, really. But it's an exceptional game. Oh my god, it's such a good game.
Yeah.
You can talk about it, just no spoilers. No spoilers on the show.
Right. Well, how far into spoilers would you say?
Oh,
I can go into it, but I'll just cut all the good bits out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but just in case any listeners want to play it,
Right,
you
okay,
can't spoil anything.
If any listeners, right, are listening in, do buy it, right? You won't regret it. If you love horror, if you love FPS games, it's definitely the game for you.
See, I don't even love horror, but I love the game. See, a lot of it isn't even, like, once you get past the first hour or so, I'd say it wasn't even that scary.
Depends where you're up to.
Until you get later on in the game.
Yeah.
It like calms down for a bit, and then things happen. I don't want to say anything. I really want to talk about it. I need to do a spoiler show, like just a complete show that I just spoil everything, and then people that want to listen can.
But, a breakdown though, right? Because you said the first hour.
Yeah.
It depends on the definition of first hour, because some people have speedrun it. If I don't know if you know about it.
Well, I mean, just a normal playthrough, obviously.
Like 2 hours, and I was like, nah, there's no way.
Well, you played it in 4, didn't you?
I did it all. I did it in 4, not to brag. In 4 hours on Madhouse mode, which is like ridiculous. For like the second attempt playing the game, I did it on normal the first time, and then did it on Madhouse.
That's unbelievable, to be honest.
Yeah.
Coming up, we're going to be talking about YouTube and what the controversy surrounding PewDiePie, the biggest YouTube ever. So stay tuned. So the big news this week is PewDiePie. We're going to be getting into talking about him in just a second, but first, there's some news that I didn't actually catch on to that Tom wants to talk about. It's quite interesting, actually. So go ahead. It's quite big.
So two YouTubers, Tanner Mongeau and iDubbbz TV. Hope I said that right, because there's not. It's content cop on me then.
That is correct. Yes.
Basically, Tanner Mongeau is one of those personality vloggers where she talks about stories and stuff that's happening in her life. Yeah, I did do quotations there. Yeah, unfortunately, no one could see that, but she was one of those people where she's like, oh yeah, I'm not racist or anything, and I think like Black Lives Matter or anything. Like, it's fair enough. But then there was evidence beforehand that she wasn't entirely honest about that, because in a previous video she had said the N-word in a few of them. But then her excuse was, when I was growing up in California, I didn't know what those words meant, so I just assumed it meant hey friend or something like that. Yeah. And obviously we all know that isn't true. But iDubbbz looked into it, and he drove to, I think it was LA, I can't remember exactly where he went, but it was her show she was doing, where she was doing a meet and greet and stuff, and getting signatures and autographs, and you could buy merchandise. He bought VIP tickets as well, not to mention, to go and see her. And he bought a $30 shirt as well with her face on it, I think.
Jesus.
I know, yeah, he really got into character for it and everything. So it came to taking photos with people when he was waiting in line, and I think he was one of the last people to go. So he went up to her, put his arm around her, stuck his thumb up and said, "Say," and he said the N-word afterwards, and she walked off. And then not long after that, she did a video about it called The N-word, if you want to look that up and see for yourself. And she more or less sort of manipulated the story, didn't tell the truth. She said that iDubbbz looked like a crazy guy, and she had to struggle to get away from him because apparently he'd wrapped his arm around her neck and said it. It wasn't polite.
Yeah, no,
But
it's messed up, really. Isn't
yeah,
it?
it is
It's
messed
really
up.
messed up.
So iDubbbz did a video on her about that, exposing her for the lies and stuff. Showed the video of what actually happened as well, and you can see clearly that iDubbbz didn't wrap his arm around her neck. He actually more or less put his arm around her shoulder and said it like that, but not in like a mean-spirited way. It was like more of a sort of like jokingly way, if you know what I mean. And she made it out like he was like a real racist and stuff. But if you've watched the iDubbbz, you know he isn't. He's just sarcastic, and it's just his tone of voice, if you know what I mean. But he's done a video on her, and it's reached, I think, 8 million. Did I say it was 8 million views?
I think so.
In the space of a week. And he did a Leafy Content Cop video 5 months ago, and that has about 16 million views. So, I mean, what does that say, really?
The controversy on YouTube lately is amazing.
Yeah.
It's just, like, so much. Like, the PewDiePie thing, we're going to be talking about that in after the next song. But, like, he's getting so much crap for it now. And then, like, Disney have ditched him.
I didn't even know Disney were with him until I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, because they own the MCN?
Is that the network?
The network, yeah. The network. They own Maker Studios. So, he's basically been ditched. He's also been ditched by YouTube, but we'll be getting into that in just a second. Stick around. So, PewDiePie. Let's get into this then. We've been hyping this up the whole hour, well, full 45 minutes we've been here. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about what happened first. But basically, the massive news this week is that PewDiePie has been ditched by Maker Studios owners, Disney. That's the Maker Studios are basically the network. They pay him to be on YouTube, as well as YouTube do all that as well. But basically, some of his recent videos contained Nazi jokes and anti-Semitic. Is that right? Semitic?
Yeah,
Semitic references. A video now removed, PewDiePie Visits Fiverr, it was called, contained Felix going on to the website Fiverr, which is a website where you pay people to do things. He paid two men who lived in, I think it was India, and then he paid them to dance and then unravel a sign that read an offensive line, "Deaf to all Jews." Felix did not think it would work and immediately apologised to no avail. He's been like slapped by every single person ever. No one likes him right now, basically, and I'm not surprised. There's no getting away from that. You can't just apologise and then think you're going to get away with it. That's not how it works.
Yeah, true.
Disney ditched him, and then in a recent update, YouTube themselves have stopped supporting him. Obviously, they're going to keep paying him because they make the most money out of him. He's got 38 million subscribers or something.
Has he dropped?
Oh, has it dropped?
Well, if he's on 38, he was on like 50 million.
Oh, maybe I got it wrong. I might have not checked.
No, he might have dropped.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be fair. And then YouTube have also ditched his show, Scare PewDiePie. I watched the first season of that, and I actually enjoyed it. It was actually alright. I was surprised.
Didn't you have to watch that with a YouTube Red in order to watch that?
Oh, yeah.
How did you manage to watch it then?
I had YouTube Red. So, basically, what do you think of it? Do you think it's justified that he's been ditched?
Not really, no. I mean, personally, I don't watch PewDiePie, but we all make mistakes on YouTube. So,
yeah, you're completely right.
I mean, one of my mistakes earned me over 3 million views on my channel. So, but yeah, it's not like a thing really. I mean, stuff like this has been going on the internet for how long? Like, people have been making posts and stuff and videos and stuff as jokes and.
See, the men that done it probably didn't really understand what they were doing.
Exactly.
They didn't, and then they also shouted out Keemstar at the end, that was the funniest bit. Keemstar's a YouTuber, for anyone not knowing him. A YouTuber that gets the Mick took over him quite a lot. Personally, I think he shouldn't have done the offensive line bit, but people make mistakes, don't they? So, but there's another point. PewDiePie also loves controversy, because I don't know if you remember a few months ago, or was it like a few weeks ago, he said he was deleting his channel.
Yeah, that was the 50 million thing I was on about.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a 50 million subscriber special. But yeah, he made a channel called Jacksepticeye 2. And that was the big hype, and he deleted that channel. And it was like he just wanted controversy and money and news, and he just wants attention, basically. So I don't think I genuinely think he's done this by accident, but he shouldn't have uploaded it in the first place. To be honest.
But I think it gets to a point on YouTube where you kind of just have to upload in order to keep people entertained. Like I don't know how he does it in the space of like he has a video up for like 2 hours, and there's one up for like 6 hours, and then there's one that's like another 10 hours or something, like in one day.
It's really weird. This next song is requested by Tom.
Yes.
This is a classic tune. Stay tuned because we've got more coming up. So Tom's ditching us now. He's off. Sadly, he can't stay for the 2 hours, but I'm going to be here talking about genres of games and my favourite genre and all that, so do stay tuned. But thanks for joining me, Tom. And he's asked me to do this. I was going to do it anyway, don't worry about it. If you want more of Tom, he's a good guy. Go and check out his YouTube channel, youtube.com/DooRagTS.
Yeah, it's DooRagTS.
There you go.
Sorry, I cut you off. But...
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't know how to spell it, so it's completely fine. So yeah, go check that out. He does all sorts of different videos, gaming videos, and just talky videos, unboxings and stuff. And he's hoping for like 4,000 subscribers. I'm presuming soon. So anyway, Tom, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in a few weeks. You can join us again, aren't you? So
yeah,
thanks for being here.
Thanks.
So in the next hour, we will be speaking about all sorts of different stuff. Sadly, Tom can't join us for this hour. He's had to shoot off. But we're going to be talking about the latest news, including the PewDiePie stuff. We're going to be elaborating on that a bit more, and we're going to be talking about some genres and what my favourite one is. Just discussing that, see what we can get out of that, and discussing some really popular genres and the least favourite of them all, and just a lot of good stuff. So stay tuned.
ClickTSide.com.
So the latest gaming news, because we didn't manage to do it in the last hour or so. We only spoke about PewDiePie and the controversy surrounding that. GTA 4, I mean, is now out on Xbox One, and it apparently runs a lot better according to reports. Personally, I don't think GTA 4 was that good of a game. Like, you look at GTA 4 compared to GTA 5, and it wasn't as good. But apparently on Xbox One it runs a lot better. Does that mean it runs at 60 FPS? I don't know. They didn't elaborate, which is a shame, because GTA 4 in 60 FPS would be really nice, especially on console. GTA 5, speaking of, is now at the top of the charts more than 3 years later, which is incredible considering it's just been 3 years and people are still buying GTA 5. Like, that's incredible. Like, Rockstar are like loaded right now. They're swimming in money. Valve are removing Steam Greenlight and replacing it with Steam Direct in a few months, in which developers can almost instantly post their games onto the platform with only one verification process to go through, which is files and viruses. Before this, Steam Greenlight was a platform in which developers that weren't like popular developers could submit their games onto Steam Greenlight, and then the community would vote their game up. So they would eventually, if they get enough votes, they would be able to go onto the platform. Like, I was actually working on a game with someone I think it was last year, the year before, Empires of Creation. It's actually on Steam. It was on Steam Greenlight, and I had to do loads of promotion for it, basically, and then it got a few hundred or thousand votes, and it got onto Steam Greenlight. But Valve are replacing that with Steam Direct, so you don't have to get votes, and you don't have to get loads of verification like you used to, which I think personally is a bad thing, because Greenlight stopped all the bad games coming on, whereas this Direct, I feel like developers are just going to submit any kind of game and try and get money from it. Of course, Valve are going to make sure there's an actual game there, but they could, like games like Infinite Runner, I think it was called, that got onto Steam, and that was on Steam Greenlight, and I don't know how that got onto Steam. I guess that's why they're replacing it, but even still, that was counted as a game by Valve, and it was literally just your 2 buttons running side to side, and you have to dodge all the stuff. It was an endless runner, so it was really bad. It didn't really make sense to me. I don't see why they why they made that. It was like the basic Unreal 4 tutorial that you could make it with. It made no sense to me. Speaking of Valve, they have no interest in making console games at the moment. They're focused on PC. They're also creating free VR games. They released one in the summer that no one really noticed. It just happened to be on there. No one really noticed it. But it was a VR game where you could go around. You could go into the Valve offices and stuff. It was really cool. But no one really noticed it. So hopefully these next free VR games are going to be cool. I'm expecting a Portal one, or in the Portal universe or something. Aperture, I guess. I don't think they'll do any Half-Life ones, sadly. Although Half-Life 3 is just a bit overhyped now, I think. If that does ever come out, it's going to be so overhyped, everyone's going to be so disappointed with it, which is a shame. Because now they're never going to be able to release that. Call of Duty has said, the developers of Call of Duty, Activision have said that they will return to their roots after Infinite Warfare sales disappointed. I think that's hilarious. Infinite Warfare wasn't a bad game, but they started going future first, and then suddenly they're going into space. Apparently the campaign's really good, but the multiplayer just didn't hit with anyone that well, I don't think, and the only sales they really got for it was Modern Warfare Remastered, which is incredible, because I think that's proven to them that returning to the roots. They've got more players on Modern Warfare Remastered than they have Infinite Warfare right now. So I think Modern Warfare Remastered is proving that they need a game that is going back to their roots. Watch Dogs 2 had a soft sales launch, but Ubisoft are happy with the franchise, so I think that means that Watch Dogs 3 is going to be in development. Watch Dogs 2 was an exceptional game. It worked so well, and it Watch Dogs 1 was such a different game compared to it. You've got Aiden Pierce, which you can actually find in Watch Dogs 2, who was a boring character. He was really black and white. It wasn't fun. He was a psycho, which in a game's a good thing. But Watch Dogs 2 didn't really work. No, it did work. Sorry, as Ubisoft have been happy with the franchise, even though it got a soft sales launch, which proves that Watch Dogs 2 had the good feedback. It just didn't have the sales figures that they really wanted. Coming up, we're going to be talking about my favourite genres. Do I say that right? I don't know. I feel like I say that wrong. And we're going to be talking about more news, so stay tuned. So now we're going to be talking about some genres and what the best ones are, which ones are popular, which ones aren't. My least favourite genre has to be... I keep saying genre, I feel like it's wrong. Am I saying that's funny? I don't know. Yeah, my least favourite has to be strategy, which is weird because I'm a PC gamer. I never liked strategy. I don't know, it just wasn't my thing. I couldn't get used to it. I haven't played too many strategy games, that might be why, but I played loads of Total War, which is which is a really recognised strategy game. I played loads of it with friends, and I never really got anywhere with it. I didn't really like it. I never really understood I understood what to do, but I never really I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. I didn't like it. My most favourite genre though has to be... is indie a genre? I wouldn't say indie is a genre. Either stealth or puzzle. Because you've got stealth games such as Metal Gear, and you've got puzzle games such as Portal. Portal is one of my favourite games ever. Such a good game. I adore that game. And then you've got games such as... what other puzzle games? There's Super Meat Boy. That was a platformer puzzle. Great game. Shovel Knight's a great game. Uncharted, no, I know that's not 2D, but Uncharted is an incredible game. Although I haven't played 1, 2, and 3, I only played 4. I played a bit of 2, I think it was. I think I played the demo, and I've played a bit of 3 as well with, I just played the start of it at my dad's house once, but, yeah, Uncharted 4, I played that, and it's such an incredible game. I didn't understand, I understood the story completely because it was a completely different story, but and it made me fall in love with the main characters. The story itself was really good. I really enjoyed the story. The other characters, the side characters, the brother, when the brother returns. That isn't a spoiler, by the way. Don't worry. And another favourite of mine has to be fighter. The fighter genre. WWE, I'm a huge WWE fan. If you, I haven't talked about the Elimination Chamber. Maybe we'll get into that soon. Yeah, WWE games, incredible games. I love them. It's weird how much they've changed, like from the SmackDown versus Raw. Well, even before that, SmackDown Just Bring It In, them type of games, the SmackDown games, they were incredible games when I was younger. I loved them so much. And there was like 2 Raw games. They were called Raw 1 and 2, I think it was, and they were awful. But I really love them because in Raw, the original Raw game, there wasn't any John Cena. John Cena was my favourite character when I was younger. Favourite character? Ooh. That's acting. And my in Raw 2, he was actually in it, so I was like, oh yay! I couldn't wait to play that. SmackDown Just Bring It, of course, had the backstage segments where you could go backstage, you could use the environment. WWE 2K17 tried to bring that back, didn't really work that well because there was only that one main area really. Because I know you could go into different rooms and that, but it wasn't the same really as the old ones. Because the old ones you could go outside into the parking lot, you could go actually outside the stadium, which was great. It was a really fun era of games. And then they changed it to SmackDown vs Raw, which again were incredible games. Really want to play them again. And then they changed it to WWE 2. No, it was just WWE 12, wasn't it? And then WWE 13, and then changed it to 2K. And then it's 2K14 up to 17, and they've just got better. They've just gotten better and better as well, which is incredible. Because they improve it in some way each year, and I don't know how they managed to pull it off. But they still need to put the story mode back into it and put the GM mode. They've tried to do that with Universe mode, but it doesn't really work as well. GM mode was incredible in the old games. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Fighter, there's obviously WWE, UFC, Tekken, and Street Fighter. Never really played a UFC game. I've played like a bit of it. Like I didn't play much of it. I don't really watch UFC, so I wasn't that bothered. Tekken I've played quite a bit of, and Street Fighter I've also played quite a bit of. Obviously, I think everyone's played Street Fighter or Tekken. And then we've got games such as Survival, which I spoke about last week, and early access games. If you want to check out that show, there's games such as The Forest, Subnautica, just so many early access games, including the survival aspect. I don't think there's a survival game that isn't in early access. I was trying to think of this earlier and I couldn't really think of one. Obviously there's like Resident Evil, but that's not really, I wouldn't count that as a survival game. Survival's more in the topic I'm on about, is more open world kind of thing, like Forest, Subnautica, etc. Horror games, of course, we spoke about this earlier. We've got Resident Evil, we've got Outlast 2, or Outlast in general. Again, me and Tom spoke about this. Resident Evil, actually exceptional game, and then Outlast. I bricked it at that game. Adventure games, you got Uncharted, Dishonored, Far Cry. They could be counted as more. They could be counted as more open world games, but an adventure there, because I guess in all games you're on an adventure really, but these are counted on the adventure category, just because of how the gameplay is. Like Dishonored, like you're on an adventure to do something. Far Cry, you're on an adventure to do something, etc. Uncharted, you're doing the same thing. Uncharted's a great adventure game, like for that genre. It really works well as an adventure game and as a platformer. Would it be a platformer? I'd count it as a platformer just because of the amount of jumping in it. Just because if you fall off, you die. So I'd say that's a basic platformer game. We're going to be speaking about more news after the break, and then we're going to be speaking about even more genres. Yay. And then I think we're actually going to go off topic and speak about the Elimination Chamber for a bit, because I haven't really spoke about that at all. So stay tuned.
Online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Click tside.com.
This is what you came.
Stay tuned, because we're going to be talking about the Elimination Chamber and what happened, what's going to happen, and WrestleMania. Don't go anywhere. So, the Elimination Chamber. What a show, eh? There was some good matches on there. Mainly the Randy Orton versus Luke Harper match. That was an incredible match. Like, so good. Bray Wyatt, obviously the new champion. Let's just address the elephant in the room. Defeating John Cena, AJ Styles, The Miz, Dean Ambrose, and Baron Corbin. What I really loved about the Elimination Chamber was when The Miz was coming out, and someone got attacked. I can't remember who. Who was it? Oh, I can't remember. Did The Miz eliminate John Cena? I really can't remember. Oh, I can check. Hang on, give me a sec. Yeah, so Baron Corbin got eliminated by Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose got eliminated by The Miz. Ah, that was it, yeah. So Baron Corbin attacked Dean Ambrose, and then, because he got eliminated, and then The Miz pinned Dean Ambrose. What I really loved about that was The Miz, like, cowering, and then quickly getting into the ring and pinning him. That was amazing. I really loved that. And then The Miz got eliminated by John Cena. John Cena got eliminated by Bray Wyatt, which was the big ooh, and then the big bit of the match was AJ Styles being pinned by Bray Wyatt cleanly as well. John Cena got pinned cleanly twice as well. Not the Royal Rumble. The last week he got pinned cleanly as well. It's weird because everyone thinks John Cena is like not giving anyone a chance, but like he clearly is. And I don't think it's up to him anyway. Like he's really, like, I think because John Cena's going to go into Hollywood eventually, I think he's getting big names out there. The Becky Lynch defeating Mickie James. I don't think I watched that bit. I think I forgot the Elimination Chamber was even on, and then because it's been 2 weeks since the Royal Rumble, which is like so soon. It's weird how soon that is, and then the Elimination Chamber taking place so fast. Like John Cena only had the title for 2 weeks, so he was clearly only getting clearly only got the title to to tie the record of Ric Flair, and it's really obvious that he's going to take over the record, sorry, and take the 17th world title he's had. Which 17, that's a lot. That is a lot of world titles. And then obviously Randy Orton being the Royal Rumble winner, defeating Luke Harper. I don't know if anyone watched SmackDown last night, but Randy Orton came out at the end because there was a triple threat match between John Cena, AJ Styles, and Bray Wyatt for the title. Because they both wanted their rematches, so basically both their rematches have gone now. And Luke Harper attacked Bray Wyatt at the beginning, but then Bray Wyatt still managed to win, so they're making Bray Wyatt look amazing. And then Randy Orton defeating Luke Harper shows that I don't know, like it's either going to be Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania, or it's going to be Randy Orton it's going to be Luke Harper versus Bray Wyatt, or a triple threat. I'm thinking it might be a triple threat just because of how they're setting it up, because obviously Randy Orton came out last night and at the end of the night he was like, I don't want to fight you because I'm your slave. That's not even a joke, that is literally what he said. Which he doesn't play the slave role very well, I don't think. I personally don't think he plays it very well. And then in a few weeks, I believe Fastlane's coming up as well. So, and then it's WrestleMania. It's like 7 weeks before WrestleMania now. So, 3 or 4 weeks until Fastlane, and then we've got WrestleMania coming up. So they've got a lot of time to build matches. But God knows what's going to happen with the Undertaker, because who was it? Braun Strowman eliminated him, didn't he? Maybe Undertaker will come back next week for the SmackDown match between Braun Strowman and Big Show. Who knows? It's WWE's in a completely different place to where it used to be, where everyone on the internet knew what was going to happen, and now no one knows what is going to happen. So, also I believe there's a show dedicated to wrestling. If you want to watch it, it's a 2-hour show with Danny and I forgot the name of the show. I can't find it, but there's a dedicated show. I'll get that up on my Twitter if you want to follow me at Josh Ryan UK. Bit of promotion there, sorry. So I'll get that up on my Twitter as soon as I can if you want to listen to that, because it's a really good show. I actually listened to it last weekend. I really enjoyed it, so do that, because it's worth it if you want to hear more chatter about the WWE universe. Well, I didn't mean it like that, not the fans. I didn't mean like that. Coming up, we're going to be talking about mod news, and we're going to be speaking about the big news, PewDiePie. I don't know if anyone's heard of the game Timesplitters. That was an incredible game. The series is actually having a fan remake. It's being developed. It was being developed 4 years ago, and just a few days ago, a teaser trailer came out, in quotations by the way, a teaser trailer, because they're going to release a remake of it. But however, it's not the Crytek, it's not the developers. It is a fan remake that the Crytek have actually allowed. The trailer wasn't great. It was literally just I think it was a 4-minute trailer of just crystals, just like crystals with a few shines on, a few like faces appeared, and then the logo appeared at the end for like a good 30 seconds, which is just it's really weird. Because you think that after 4 years, you think they'd give something away. The trailer, all that was really given away was that it was going to release this year, I imagine at the end of the year. Which is better because it was going to be released in 2018 next year. So 2017 is a nice release date. I really love the Timesplitters series. I think number 3 was my favourite one. And was it number 2? I think it might be number 2 was my favourite one. The really cartoony one. I really love that. They're all cartoony, but like number 2 was like especially cartoony. And then the PS4 Pro has released a boost mode, which is if a game had a bad FPS count at launch, the player would be able to activate this mode, and there would be there's been reports of huge FPS boosts that are making games actually playable. So say this one's good. Assassin's Creed Unity, which was pile of poo, because just the FPS and the actual gameplay itself was just bad. Then Syndicate came out and it was actually really good. But anyway, Assassin's Creed Unity, the original FPS for it was 23, and they never released a patch for it or anything, so it's 23 FPS on the PlayStation 4, and it's went up to 30 FPS now with this new boost mode. It's recommended that if the game already has a patch to fix the FPS, that you don't use the mode, because it can break the game. But if it doesn't have the patch, because a lot of developers just don't release patches for it, which is a shame, then it can really boost your game's performance, which is nice. NAC was broken with the Pro because there was already a patch for it. Project Cars is a 35 to 38% increase from 40.5, that's very specific, to 55.5 FPS, which is a huge FPS. That's 15 FPS boost, which is really good for a game like Project Cars where you need the FPS boost. 40 FPS isn't bad anyway. If it's above 30, then you can live with it, but closer to 60 the better. Battlefield 4, that has had a FPS boost from 48 to 60 FPS, which is really nice. It's smoothing it off. Killzone Shadowfall, 35 FPS to 40 FPS, and then Mirror's Edge Catalyst has had the FPS drops taken away, which is really nice because every time you're in a battle, the FPS would drop on that, which it was a shame. And that game really disappointed. Someone has also made a entire 60 to 80 hour game in Minecraft based on Pokemon. There's 136 Pokemon to catch. There is dialogue in the game, and you can throw Pokeballs. And the best thing about it is none of it is modded, apparently. It's just a map that you download and place in your folder, and you can play it. I imagine you need a good computer considering how big it's going to be. 60 to 80 hours, just remember that. That is exceptional. That is like just ridiculous. This is Katy Perry's new song, Chained to the Rhythm. So that is basically the end of my show now. I'm just gonna, because we spoke about YouTube a bit earlier, we spoke about the controversy surrounding PewDiePie. I think that it would be good to give you a little few facts and then opinions about YouTube just before we end the show. So basically, YouTube is I don't know why I said basically. YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google. Now, how long will that last? YouTube servers have been downloads lately, and like I had Tom in earlier, he's a YouTuber, he couldn't upload, I couldn't upload. There's so many YouTube videos that couldn't have been uploaded, but more than 100 hours of video is uploaded every minute on YouTube, which is like that's a lot. That's a lot of video uploaded for 3 former employees founded YouTube. So three former employees of PayPal founded YouTube, and now it's the second biggest search engine after Google. And seen as though Google on YouTube, it's just incredible. The most disliked video on YouTube isn't a gaming video, which I thought it would be. It's actually Baby by Justin Bieber. I'm not that surprised. Gangnam Style is the most viewed YouTube video, that's great. That was a good song when it came out. I loved that song. And then we've got things such as the I don't know. Everyone's saying the future of YouTube's going downhill basically because because of what's happening lately with it, the PewDiePie controversy a few weeks ago here even had even more controversy, and it's not going that well for YouTube. I think another video uploader is going to take over, but who knows. Anyway, that is the end of my show. Thanks for listening. And thanks to Tom for joining me earlier. Next week we're going to have Jay on, hopefully. I said that about this week, but that didn't happen, sadly. But hopefully he'll be on next week, where we'll be talking about indie games. And yeah, so thanks for listening, and this is the Cortainers.